So I recently got my hands on the SIRUI Nightwalkers Cinema lens set, excluding the 35mm, and I wanted to test out the optics of the lens, and the first thing was to look for character and optical imperfections. Well, you'll see for yourself and be the judge. For this video, I've kept it as clean as possible. I did bring down the exposure by half a stop, but there are no color grades or anything like that. This is a straight out of camera look, because I wanted you to see this as close to the most realistic or the closest rendition as possible. Now, on the 24, it seems to have 5 cores, a pinkish reddish hue closest to the light source, then an orange one followed by a bluish purple orb, then a yellow one, and lastly a gray white one, which happens to be the biggest one. Now, the first 2 are kind of the same size, and the last 3 get bigger, further away from the light source. On the 55 though, it's even less orbs, and I think I could only count 3. There's a purple bluish one closest to the light source, and a green one further out, which happens to also be the biggest one, and a white gray one similar to the purple one in size, which is also the furthest one. Now, I did notice a circular flare orb when you point the light source directly right the middle of the 55, but I don't think it's anything bad or distracting. Actually, it's far from it. Also, the last 2 flares sort of form this rainbow streak when you angle the light in a certain way. This was perhaps the most shocking find about this lens for me, and I sort of have to talk you through it. Right away, I should say that this doesn't make this lens a bad option, but I think if you're going to get something like this, you should know exactly what you're going to get into so that you do not get caught unawares. The chromatic aberration seems to change colors, which is something I still don't quite understand yet. It goes from a teal bluish hue to a purple red magenta one. And it only happens when you try to rack focus. If anyone knows why, please leave me an answer in the comments below. But I think it might have to do with the focusing, because in this instance, for example, when the pole is spot on in focus, it disappears. But you can see it on the bag's logo and other out of focus areas. So at the end of the day, it's clean. The character, or lack of it in this case, won't really distract or impose on an image, which is good if that's what you are going for. The worst case scenario with this lens is that you get that subtle flare blob that dances somewhere in the middle. On the 55, it was more pronounced, but even that is still far from what I'd call like a flare. And honestly, we're just pixel peeping at this point. And for the price to value proposition, most people who would be buying this lens don't even care about things like this, because optically they're sort of getting a clean look like the signature primes and the Zeiss Supremes. So Since we've established that this is a clean look, it's only fair to compare this to other clean lenses. So in the next video, I will be comparing this lens to the Sigma 24-70 in terms of sharpness, flaring, chromatic aberration, and whatever else that I find. If you're interested in that, please subscribe to the channel. Also, all the music that you've heard in this video was gotten from either Audio, Artleast, and Upbeat. And you can actually sign up for Upbeat right now using my link below, and you get not one, not two, but 3 free music every single month for your content needs. They're copyright free. You will not get demonetized or anything like that. And with that being said, I should probably also make a video about how I'm getting like this shape of light and hard light. Hard lights. We're not trying to be all cinematic here. We're just like optical imperfections. Bye.